Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we are going to be comparing the new supercar that was just added into the game a few hours ago, the Pfister 811, versus some of the other top-tier supercars in the game, including the Grotti X80 Proto. That seems to be the test that a lot of people are very much interested in, how this car stacks up against the X80. I'm guessing it's because they were released at similar times, and the results today are quite shocking, but they're also a little confusing based off of the test that I'm doing, and I've seen some other people get confused on what the results of some tests have actually meant for this car, so hopefully this video will clarify that for you. Now, as always, when I do these tests, the vehicles are fully customized to their maximum ability. So that means, the best braking, the best engine stats, spoiler when applicable, transmission, turbo, everything has been fully upgraded, and we are going to be using the 1,000 meter drag strip race that I've been using in previous videos. So I'm going to start with the 811, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you the times first so that I can discuss a little bit. So the times I got for this were 21.356, 21.490, and 21.324. I typically like to do 3 tests as to eliminate any outliers, and so I can also kind of balance out my times a little bit. So those were pretty quick times, and when I initially did this result, I was like, man, that's a great time. The 811 has got a great top speed. Well, it turns out that that is probably one of the only redeeming qualities of this car, is that the 811 has a super fast top speed. Now, I don't know the extent to the fastest possible speed that it can reach, but I do know that it's up there with the other vehicles, and that's why it's performing so well in this drag testing race. Because I have noticed, I did like a 2.5-hour live stream, that there were some things about this car that I noticed that were pretty poor. The handling is pretty bad, the traction on the car itself is pretty bad, and even according to other racing YouTubers like Bruffy1322 who tested this car on a circuit, he said that this is not a very good vehicle. In fact, in his test, it finished in 11th out of all the supercars, which is insane because that puts it behind vehicles like the Infernus. And I believe he said the Cheetah as well, which is kind of crazy. So even though this car got really good times in comparison to some of the other vehicles you'll see, because it has such poor handling and traction and isn't that great in other areas outside of top speed, this car doesn't perform well outside of the test that I'm running right now. So it's pretty crazy. It finishes 11th in the supercar category. That is absolutely insane. I was not expecting that at all out of the Pfister 811. So now let's compare that to the times of the X80. And this is why I said it could get a little bit confusing. So the X80 I ran had times of 21.422, 21.290, and 21.257. So if you just take those times and you compare it to my 811 times, you'd say, wow, those cars are very competitive. They're very close. A split second here or there is the only thing that separates these two vehicles from each other, when in reality, that's quite the opposite, because the X80 Proto is the overall fastest and now best supercar in the game. We tested that. It's been confirmed when this was released last week. And the fact that the 811 is the 11th best out of all the supercars is shocking, even though their results are so close. So in this video, I'm not going to be testing the top speed of the car, but just from the tests we've seen so far and the fact that these drag races are so close, which do test acceleration and top speed primarily, that it's interesting how well the 811 was able to keep up, even though they're light years apart from the X80 Proto. So to give you guys the too long didn't read version, the 811 has a tremendously high top speed, which allows it to keep up with vehicles like the T20 and the X80 Proto. However, it falls short on many different other categories, making it a significantly worse supercar. And now I'm just going to do some quick tests with, like I said, other vehicles. T20, I ran a time of 22.191. The 900R, I got 22.124. And Osiris, 22.123. So you can see it's like a different class of supercars compared from the X80 and the 811 in their top speeds respectively compared to those others. Although those are on a much more competitive level, the X80, T20, 900R Osiris, than the 811. So I absolutely think this is a shocking result for the Pfister 811. But at the same rate, I'm also not surprised. I think we all expected the Grotti X80 Proto to be this supercar because of the price tag that it was given. $2.7 million is a lot of money. by the end of the day, and by the time you end up customizing it, it's around $3 million, which is really, really expensive. However, this car does not share the same price. It only comes in at $1.135 million, which is not a lot when you compare it to some of the other cars we've seen, whether it be T20 or Osiris, or even some of the ones that were added in Further Adventures in Finance and Felony. They're more expensive than $1.135 million. So at the end of the day, and this is just my quick summation, you get for what you pay for. I think it's a unique car. I think it's a very unique look being modeled after the Porsche 918. And I think, like I said, you're getting exactly what you're going to pay for here, which is a supercar that really just can't compete with some of the other more expensive ones in the game. If you think about it, X80 Proto, most expensive, it's the best. T20, second most expensive, it's the second best. You know, you've got Osiris, you've got 900R, you've got Zentorno. So respectfully, I think the Zentorno is kind of an outlier because it is a lot cheaper. But for the most part, the more expensive the supercars get, the better they're going to be. And because the 811 doesn't have that price tag that just blows you out of the water, I don't think it's going to have the performance as well. So this is going to be really the only test I do on this car. I'll leave a link to Bruffy's channel in the description. I think he's doing some more videos later today on like testing the top speed and whatnot. I'm not sure, but if you go subscribe to him, I'm sure you'll figure it out, and he's got some good videos over there. But it's just crazy. I was not expecting this at all. And I think I am going to be doing a video later today on my full thoughts and opinions on the whole matter, because I think there's a lot to talk about, and I think I want to, you know, make a video out there telling people if they want to save their money or not. But that'll be for a later day. Pretty crazy results in this video so far, though. If you did go on to enjoy, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.